Let's throw some music while people on. How's it going, Jim? Section 2B, Prairie. Hey, everyone.
In this silence, no stone speaks, no light survives, 'cause we draw oblivion from the echoes of forgotten lives. Crystal towers once touched the sky, machines that harness endless fire, now swallowed by the ocean's light. We turn our backs.
It's weird, it tells me I don't have access to this feature when I try to turn the camera on.
And tear the veil away, what we've lost, to dig out what we used to know, erase the lies we told ourselves, and reclaim what we've let go, what we've lost.
I think it's because I set it to webcam, and I don't actually have a webcam, it's my internal camera. And now I can't change it unless I close the screen. But that's okay. You guys just don't get to see my face.
Put to rest the history books they sold to me, while I sift through the sand and rust, with hands stained by uncertainty. Atlantean flames and Lemurian songs, power we wielded then threw away, hidden in the deep, in the frozen throngs, secrets we buried day after day. So let the truth come and tear the veil away, what we facing now, to dig out what we used to know, erase the lies we told ourselves, and reclaim what we've let go, what we lost. I'll face myself to cross out what we've become, unearth the past, and let go of what we've done. We've I'll scream again, through the ruins, through the pain, to take this chance. I'm waking what we've lost, I'll face it now, to dig out what we used to know, erase the lies we've told ourselves, and reclaim what we've let go, what we've lost. I'll face myself and let go. What we've Forgiving what we've done. Forgiving what we've done.
All right. So I prepared a new video that we're going to go through. But before we go through that one, I want to discuss these two clips here real quick. Today, we're going to be looking at situations that have been occurring all over Canada with security guards who believe they have this imaginary authority to go hands-on and have been. Now, it's funny. We got a lot of comments on those ones. The one with the brass knuckles, the majority of people do agree that that was excessive. And the brass knuckles are also a prohibited weapon, and that guy's facing charges. So there's not much debate on that one. But the other one, where the guy slaps him in the back of the head,
With today, we're going
this
to be
one here, we got so many comments basically saying that good for the security guard, that this is what he should be refused. But the reality is, we never confirmed that there was theft here. Even the witnesses say he was waiting in line to pay. So we don't really know. The guard could have a reason to believe that something was in his bag. But the next clip we're going to watch is another security guard at Dollarama who creates an entire scene when he falsely accuses a woman of stealing and then wants to search her bag. So just listen to what this guard will say, and then it starts to put things more into situation of what their mentality is. And I truly believe that this guard had no reason to believe that there was theft happening whatsoever. He just saw a bag and wanted to search the bag. So we'll get into the new videos now. Question being, why does it not ask me to share that screen? All right, I just got to confirm here you guys are seeing this screen. No, you're not. Why? Share. So you should be seeing the screen, right? Are you seeing videos?
Okay, that's fine.
So, search me. This is the
okay.
bullshit that we have to deal with.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's not okay. This is so embarrassing.
It's my life to check.
Why did you stop me?
I stopped you because I wanted to check what you have inside.
Well, search me.
Yes.
Search me. This is
Can you open
bullshit.
it for me? Can you open it for me?
I'm not gonna open it. You said you're allowed to search me. By all means, go ahead.
But next time, don't come back here.
No, I go shopping here.
Yeah. Next time, don't come back here. It's my right to check what you have with you. It's my right.
Search me then. Search me.
Why else? Why else?
So my husband spoke, and now you change your tune.
No, it's okay.
No, it's not okay.
If you don't want me
This
back
is
here,
not
don't
call
come back here.
format.
That's fine. Me, I'm allowed to check anything.
No, you're not allowed to touch me.
I didn't touch you. You are on camera, remember?
Yeah, and you were recording me, and you were taking a picture of
I
me.
took it, yes. It's my right.
And if it's your right, when you said that you had a right to touch me, to search me,
Check you to search you, yes, I have.
do you have any proof or to say that you're allowed to touch me? Show me your papers that you have the legal right to touch me or search me. Come on, I want to see your papers proving that you can touch me.
I didn't touch you. Does it?
No, you said you were going to search me. You have the right to.
Can you read?
I'll use this. I'll go to.
Can you read?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna point one thing out. The thing that you want to see is her pack of smokes.
You have done it before.
But here's the thing.
All right. So from that video, I'm already seeing that it looks like these security guards are. It's funny how you can see my cursor on there. I'm not even on that window. How those security guards are probably being instructed to search all of the bags, because this guy clearly has no reason to believe she's stealing, and he's not accusing her of stealing. He's just straight up saying, I want to search your bag, and I have the right to search you. I have the right to see what you have with you. That's what he's saying. And if that's their mentality, then we could see that happening all over, where just like the last clip we watched, the guard likely didn't have a reason to believe he was stealing. He just saw a bag, and they believe they have the right to search the bag. They don't. And let's be clear, when you're working on duty as a guard, as a police officer, or as any civil servant, You don't have rights. You have authorities. It's very, very different because you're being given the authority to override someone's rights under certain circumstances. So when they try to use those authorities outside of the color of law, they call it outside of their legal authority, now they're violating rights. So they might see it as, oh, I just made a mistake. I didn't know I was allowed to do that. Well, you exercised authority that you didn't have, and you violated someone's rights. So we're going to keep going with these videos. The next few are all at the Dollarama. And thanks for Prairie for these ones. She's the one who sent us the majority of these videos. And now I want you to keep that in mind, that these security guards seem to be trained and be told that they have the right to physically restrain someone, physically search them, and to search any bag. No, they don't have use of force training, AC. They're not allowed to touch at all.
You saw something there? Because she's native, that's when you stop.
This video is pretty much done there. I'll start the next one soon. Yes, Randy, we were talking about that with cameras too. They have a lot more power in preventing your entry. So they could put a sign that says no bags allowed and then stop you from entering if you don't want to remove your bag. But once you're inside, they don't have that authority to search you. The truth is, even if they suspect that you're stealing, they would need to call the police. And in an investigation, the police may have the authority to search you. They likely wouldn't unless they've actually arrested you.
No, I will come back and shop.
No, actually, I'll be shopping elsewhere from now
This
on.
video was a bit longer than I thought. But one other thing we hear this guard tell the lady is because she refused to let him search her bag, he says, don't come back here. You know, you have to remember that security guards are not the corporation, right? So they're costing the corporation money by refusing service to paying customers because they're basically insulted. Like, oh, no, you didn't let me search your bag. Don't come back here. The security guard we had at the beer store, his attitude was, oh, you don't want to shut off your camera? You're not allowed to purchase anything. But once we got to the headquarters, you realize that the corporate headquarters don't agree with that. They would have preferred taking money and not causing a scene. All right, next one.
Fucking swearing at kids? What are you swearing at the kids for? They bought their shit, leave them alone. What the fuck's wrong with you? Fucking racist motherfucker. Those little kids, man. Just leave him alone. He's not gonna do anything, dude. He's a little kid. Fuck. Grow the fuck up.
All right. Now I put that clip in there to show the general attitude. Like, I've owned a retail store. I've taught a lot of kids. I've had to deal with a lot of kids. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of smart mouth kids. We have no idea what started this. But what are you doing going around swearing and like chasing these kids down? There's nothing to win there. There's no battle to win. They're young children. Leave them alone. And we're actually going to see a few more clips where young children are involved. And, you know, like, I don't know how to describe it, but generally we have this understanding that we treat adults differently from children, right? The children are children. You know, their parents should probably raise them a little bit better. But at the end of the day, it's not our place to get involved there. These security guards, however, are treating these children as if they were adults. And it's not nice to see. Record all the Dollaramas, man. Even if they're not like engaged in physical contact, just showing who the guards are, how many guards there are out there.
Holy heck.
They were all in here before we started, Jim. It's just they were being quiet. All right, I'm going to back this one up a little bit. I'll talk as it's going. Now, this is an unlawful search. You can't do that. He also puts his hands on her. But look here. It does seem like she stole a bag of candy, and the security guard did retrieve it from her bag. So that brings into question here. I got to go back to the screen so I can see your comments. Is it justified? So I'll say that's a confirmation that she was stealing a $2 bag of candies. So was that justified? Let's go back to hands-on here. I want to see wrong screen. Like, look, he's got her coat shoulder. I think we're too far there.
Fucking racist motherfucker.
Fuck you, fuck you.
Kids, man. Just leave him alone. He's not gonna do anything, dude. He's a little kid. Fuck.
I didn't even go down that aisle.
But he slams her against the door at some point.
Why are you trying my stuff like that?
So neck area grab on there. He didn't slam her on the door. He's just restraining her. Takes the bag from her.
That's all I wanted. Why are you looking for my stuff like that?
But he doesn't seem to take that bag. Where did that bag come from? This guy's like a magician. He just makes it appear in his hands. Did he plant it on her? No, she stops arguing after he grabbed it. So that seems to be a clear confirmation that she did steal the thing. He did retrieve it. But that was a lot of hands-on. Oh, yeah, that's a good thing for everyone, Prairie. If you guys didn't notice, default does not show you all of the chat. It shows you the top chat. I just switched mine too. So if you switch it to all chat, then you can see everything. Yeah, then he just throws her stuff on the ground and he says, "Get out of the store. Get out of the store." I mean, this is one of those situations where she was stealing. We can't condone stealing. But that was excessive. That was far beyond his authority. He violated her rights. He put his hands on her. All for what? That looks like it's a $2 bag of candy.
Like I said, have them ready. Come in, don't.
And I think he took a picture of her as she was leaving.
I carry the same damn license you do. You're not supposed to touch. You're not supposed to touch. Hands off. Observe and report. From here.
Boz, Jesus. All right. So, like, yeah, dollar store is like, it's like they're hiring these people, and yeah, these are all in Canada, and they're instructing them to go hands-on. This one here that we're seeing too with the lady is still a Dollarama, but they like chase this lady outside of the Dollarama. Now these guards could actually be employed by the mall and not the Dollarama itself, which would give them authority in the parking lot. But still, let's go back to that one we just saw a second ago. That was a full-on fight and then drag her out the door. Now, we do have confirmation from the witnesses or the comments, the person who posted the video, that says that guy was stealing. But is that justified still? We don't know how much he's stolen or how much was in that bag, but that guy literally just laid a beating on him, dragged him out the door by his school bag. Even a police officer would be getting nailed for excessive force on something like that.
How much? Wait, excuse me, how much we can pay? How much? Hello? Hello?
This guy's got Chips Ahoy. You should have left the Chips Ahoy on the shelves, bud. All right, so that lady, again, we don't have the context. She could have stolen something. But what are these security guards doing, chasing her out in the parking lot, grabbing her? Yeah, 2 men and a half-dressed woman, dragging her to the ground. So there were no strikes, but they still violently put her down. And this security guard's got handcuffs. This guy's busting out handcuffs and handcuffing her. No investigation whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like when police come in, police have to ask questions. They have to investigate. They'll look at camera footage and they'll make a decision. These guys just go off of their opinions, their suspicion, whatever it may be. And even if they witness the theft, they should be reporting it to the police, not throwing this girl on the ground and arresting her. And I mean, she doesn't even have pockets. Where is this stolen product supposed to be? All right, now let's go to these kids with the Chips Ahoy. Now, this one is not a bag issue. Surprisingly, they don't care about these kids' bags. What they care about is this kid's phone. The kid seems to know.
This video didn't have any audio.
I know.
But what we see here is a security.
You're getting a preview of the next one. All right. So again, the phones. Why do these people have an issue with recording? And even if you have an issue with recording, why are you going hands-on? More specifically, this one is actually a staff. It's not even a security guard. So he's just a regular staff going hands-on, trying to prevent him from recording. But more specifically, look at the kid. It's a minor. You just went hands-on with a minor because you don't want him recording you. Yeah, exactly. Like, don't, there should be parents getting pissed off about this. Don't go shoving kids around. Now, it does look like the kid is instigating a little bit. It does look like he knows, and he's purposely pointing the camera at that staff. But as an auditor, I might do the exact same thing. You know what I mean? I might not specifically point the camera at the guy, at the staff, but if I knew that that store was trying to prevent recording when they don't have policies to prevent recording, I'd be going in with my camera. And that's pretty much what this kid is doing here. He knows that the staff's going to get mad at him, and that's why he's pointing the video at them. But he just proved that that staff is willing to go hands-on to prevent a kid from recording. It's not even about theft here. And all three of these kids have backpacks on. We don't see anyone trying to check their backpacks, just no recording. All right, now we're going to get into the next one. You kind of saw the preview of it. This guy whips out a baton and shoves a kid out the door. It's like I should have left a space between the videos.
But what we see here is a security guard wielding his baton, then shoving a little kid out the door. We see after, as they're walking away, that this was a group of young children.
Say that again, bro, because I want every evidence.
Again, dealing with children, goes hands-on, shoves the kid out the door. We have zero context. We don't know what those kids were doing, but it doesn't matter. They're minors. But the baton, why is a Dollarama security guard carrying a baton? And why did he whip it out for a group of kids? I mean, in this case, I hope to God he was just planning on intimidating them with them. Like, did the thought cross his mind to actually smash a kid with that baton? Because if he did, that's crazy dangerous. Exactly, Prairie. You don't know. Like, that kid could have been accused before, could have had an issue before, and now he's recording to make sure to prove that we're not stealing. Look, I got a pack of Chips Ahoy. That's all I grabbed. I'm bringing it to the cash. I'll pay for it. It's something he did to keep himself safe, and they went and attacked him. Now, these last kids, they could have stole something. They could have been mouthy. Who knows? But you're still not justified in whipping out your baton. Now, that was the last one for the Dollarama clips. This one here is not at Dollarama, but this is another security guard who's about to whip out a baton.
Everything, brother. You said say what, bro? This is trespassing? No, bro. I'm under the shade. Waiting on an Uber, bro. Waiting on an Uber.
Uber waiting. Because the driver is came, you not enter.
And what did you tell the driver? You told him I'm unsafe?
You are taking video.
You are taking video?
Keep away.
Keep away!
Keep away.
Jesus.
Keep away.
I'm keeping away. I'm keeping away, man. I got you, though, boy. Yeah. I got you, little boy. Trying to do something. All right, bro.
Go on the bus stop. Go on the bus stop. Fuck it. Go on the bus stop.
I'm going, bro.
Go on the bus stop.
I'm going, bro. I'm
I
going.
hit you. Go on the bus stop.
I'm going.
Go. You are trespassing.
I'm going.
Go.
I'm going.
Go on the bus stop.
I'm going, man.
Go on the bus stop.
I'm going.
Go away.
Okay.
Go away. Go on the bus
Okay,
stop.
I'm going.
Go
Leave me alone. Leave me
on the
alone.
bus stop.
Leave me alone,
Go on the
bro.
bus stop.
I'm going. I'm
Hold
going.
Fuck it. Go on the bus stop.
Bro, leave me.
Go on
Please.
the bus stop. You are trespassing.
Please.
Go on the
Please.
bus stop.
Yeah, that one's you can see the text there from the person who posted it. An Indian security guard was seen pulling out a baton to thwart away a trespasser. Like, they're actually like supporting this. First off, I'm not clear that there's actually trespassing going on here. Second off, why are you pulling off your baton and chasing this guy nonstop? Like, that's a clear threat. It's beyond intimidation. You know what I mean? He is threatening to harm him and he is chasing him off this property. But he also says, "You are making the video." Threatening with a weapon, exactly. But like, was this guy actually mad that he was trespassing, or was he mad that he was making a video? It seems to me like, once again, the camera was their problem here. This had nothing to do with trespassing. He just didn't like the camera. Yeah, I talk about that often, AC, where the threat of a weapon, showing someone a weapon, just posturing can be considered a use of force. For example, when police show up in an entire group, they've already engaged in use of force. You're not talking about one officer or an officer and their partner engaging with someone. They're showing use of force, right? It's a show of force, and show of force is a minor use of force.
Please. Please, sir. Please, sir. Go on the bus stop. Please, sir.
This guy's almost like begging, "Please, sir, go to the bus stop." I mean, this all looks like public walkway to me.
We had to mute it. Now, this seems to be a shoplifter, and we do not condone stealing. But again, ask yourselves, is this proper behavior for a security guard?
This is another one, again, where based on the comments, it looks like there was theft going on. But you still can't go hands-on that way. Like, that guy is grabbing him, punching him, kicking him. That's far beyond removing someone. Like, even if they had the authority to remove someone, you don't have the authority to go around punching and kicking them. Just like that other one in the Dollarama where he grabbed him and dragged him out by his backpack. Even a police officer is going to get hit for excessive force on something like that. So guards can't be doing it. Then this guard seems to be proud of himself. I mean, if I saw someone like that working security, I'd be afraid. Like, are you really security or are you here doing something else? I'm reading some of the comments now. Had a cop try to steal my cell phone because I warned people about cops hiding in the woods with a speed trap. Yeah, I don't like that. Even when they're in an investigation and they try to force you to give over your phone so that they can review the video and all that, like they don't really have a right to that. The recording is yours. Uh, you can submit the video to them. They don't have a right to take your phone.
Even the police couldn't act like that.
I know my rights. I'm fifth generation Canadian. This is an Indigenous girl. You're putting your hands on her. You're fucking manhandling her. Yeah, you're traumatizing her. Let go of her. Let go of her now. Let go of her. Let go. You're using unnecessary force. You don't need to hold on to her like this. What are you doing? Why are you putting your knee in her back? Who do you think you are?
So again, this is a situation where we don't have much context, but we like to look at the reaction of bystanders, of the other people around. Right? The person filming right now is not being ultra aggressive and swearing at these police officers or doing anything that would lead us to believe that this here is justified. This girl could have been mouthing off to them. This girl could be trespassing. We don't really know. But now you're talking about 4-on-1, 5-on-1. What was it? I'll have to go back. That's too far back. I guess I didn't zoom this video in properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of them. 5 guards on the one girl, putting her down, and the person filming right there is on the ball. You're traumatizing her. I see AC just wrote PTSD triggered. Exactly. That's the type of thing that causes PTSD. Regardless of if they had a right to be removing this person or not. If you're going to go 5-on-1 hands down to take a little girl down, you were better off calling the police. That's your job. Call the police. There is some truth to that. You know, there looks like they're intentionally hiring people who are less observant of our laws and our rights and are just going to do what they're told for the paycheck. They also created a world where most people are working paycheck for paycheck and can't say no. You know, like they can't risk losing their job by refusing an order.
You're all right in there?
All right, now we're getting into some situations from warming centers. These are Canada Cop Watch clips here.
Yeah.
This lady's about to freeze me after the tent. I'm trying to get her a blanket. Yeah. Get her a blanket or something. Literally, she's gonna freeze to death. Okay, well, you don't have any blankets. You're a security guard. Can I talk to one of the staff members, please? No, because we're closed. Stop trespassing. Why are you making your report with a permission? This isn't public. No, I'm not turning shit off. No, I'm not turning shit off, guys. You're not gonna touch me. You're trespassing, bud. You can say that 100 times. You can say that 100 times, bro. You need to leave. You can say that 1,000 times. I'm not leaving until TPS comes here or I speak to a staff member. Understand the Trespass Property Act. Yeah, it says anybody not
Understand the Trespass Property Act. Yeah, bro, it's a public funding warming center. Like, you guys need to understand it.
What's going on? This is freedom of press. Step back from me, first of all. Stop being trespassing. Say what you want. Call TPS if you'd like to. I'm not leaving until I speak to a staff member about the person that's about to freeze to death. I'm willing to go to jail for that. 100%. 1,000%. You're ridiculous. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, go fuck yourself. That's my name. All right. What's your guard card number? Yeah, go fuck myself.
If you didn't see the full video of this one, staff actually does end up coming out and she gives him like blankets and a sweater and stuff like that. So you see these security guards trying to represent the corporation. Basically, they've made the decision on part of the staff in the warming center that they shouldn't talk to him. They shouldn't help the girl outside. But the reality is, once the staff comes, the staff understands, oh man, this girl's freezing. Let's see what we can do to help them. Yeah, someone just said drunk on power. Exactly. So these guys are at the door and they're more worried with preventing someone's entry than they are with actually listening and what's going on. The next one we're going to look at is from the same series here. So it's another warming center and it's still Canada Cop Watch. They do pretty much the same thing.
No problem.
Oh, I guess I left it in there. We can see that she comes out and gives them some stuff.
Pants and then like a warm sweater and then a lighter shirt that she can wear underneath.
You are amazing.
Okay.
Yes. You guys are an embarrassment to the people. You should not be working in a place like this.
If you support transparency and accountability, subscribe.
They try to stop the staff from helping. Yeah, they even try to prevent the staff from like knowing what the issue is that's being brought up.
My what?
What's your bed number?
I don't speak here, brother. I want to speak to the staff in the front.
Okay, if you want to speak, you have to step out. I will call the staff. You can talk with them, okay?
You know, it's the coldest day in the city of
I get
Toronto
it,
right
sir.
now.
I get it, sir.
You mind if
Right
we
now-
stand right here?
No. You can't.
Yes, unfortunately, we've noticed that they're mostly
This is a
foreigners.
publicly funded building, bro.
I get it. I will call the staff. You can talk with them. They will let you know if we have available beds. They will give you a bed, okay?
Listen to me. Slow
I'm
down.
listening to you, sir.
Slow down, okay?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about a situation in a little bit where some plainclothes security actually removed a woman from the Walmart.
Second of all, I'm here to speak to the staff.
I will let the staff
I'm
know.
gonna wait right here. I'm not sitting outside in the freezing cold.
Sir,
I'm gonna sit right here. Don't put your hands on me ever. I'll tell you that right now. I want to speak to the staff, brother.
can I get the backup at the front door, please? And staff manager.
Just get him one. You just came from the courthouse.
I get it, sir. but
What's
these are
your
the
guard
protocols,
number?
Okay?
So that we're not crushed in here.
I get it.
Let me see your guard card.
Over there. You can see my last
No, your guard card by law, please.
I can show you.
Yeah.
Come on.
What's going on? guys?
Yep, you're right, Randy. They receive like supplements from the government to help pay their salaries, and that's part of why they hire temporary foreign workers instead of permanent
The way
citizens.
you address me, by law, you need to show me your guard card.
You bed here?
Brother, I just told you guys, I'm not homeless. I don't need a bed here.
Then why are you inside here?
I'll explain that after you give me my guard card.
Can you please leave though?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got me going.
Can I get your guard card, please?
You're not supposed to record anything.
Can I please get your guard
You
card, sir?
have to put your camera down.
Could you please leave? No.
Guys, I'm not gonna be bombarded by 3 of you guys telling
If
me
you
some
don't live here,
shit.
you have no space, you're not trying to be here.
This is a city funded ran building.
It's not for you.
I'm here to submit a freedom of information
That's
request.
4 guards now,
I wanna show you
or
guys what's going on.
3 guards and 2 regular staff.
We just came from the courthouse.
None of us are homeless, bro. You keep asking if we have a bed here. None of us are homeless.
Come on, get out.
Now, if you haven't seen the full one of this yet, we're making a longer version because they actually end up calling the police. Like that one just keeps going. And then in one of the weirdest situations I've ever seen, the police come in and they walk outside to talk with Canada Cop Watch. So situation diffused, like we're done here. Canada Cop Watch got all the info he needed. He made his freedom of information request. He leaves willingly. He's talking to the police outside. And that security guard, the first one who stopped entry, comes back out like a true Karen, trying to convince the police to charge him. They're like, "Oh, but he didn't leave when I told him to. Why is he not getting a ticket? He went past me. Why is he getting why is he not getting a ticket? He should be getting a ticket." And the cops are like, "Listen, like he's not even inside anymore. Like, why do you want us to ticket him? This is a public funding warming center." You're right there, Prairie, too. That same problem that is affecting the security industry is affecting.
Accident around 5 years ago, Laquette has relied on her walker due to mobility challenges. She says that while being followed and told to leave, she let the guards know that she was doing nothing wrong. The security guards then gave her the finger, swore at her, and claimed she was stealing. Grand Chief Kyra Wilson says the incident is part of a troubling pattern that needs to be addressed. LaQuette was surprised by the way she was treated and says that she's used to being followed around at stores. But this time she felt the guards went too far.
I guess they think I look like a thief or something, but I'm not that kind of person. I would never steal at Walmart.
I believe her. I don't think she was stealing at all. Now, I played that news clip instead of the original video so that we could hear that they call them security guards. It's confirmed by the Walmart that those were 2 licensed security guards. But if I go back here, you'll notice that they are in plain clothes. This is common. It's what they call floor walkers. They're basically undercover loss prevention. They didn't go hands-on, and they're probably instructed not to. Because they're out of uniform, these guys have 0 authority whatsoever. They're not actually representing anything. No video. What? I'm reading through some of the comments right now. So, are they security? Well, they're employed as security. They're employed as loss prevention. They have a security license. Could you ask them to produce their license? Would they be forced to produce it? I am not sure. We'll have to look into that. I think that they would. If they're coming up to you and trying to give you orders, in this case, they were asking her to leave, they're going to need to produce that security license. But it's a sketchy situation. You are plain clothes. What proof do I have that you're not just some other shopper harassing me right now? Yeah, and if you look into the security guard laws too, if they're on duty security and gonna give you directives of any kind, so basically these ones here, plain clothes, really should be observing and reporting. They should be reporting to the proper security guards or reporting to the police because they're not considered on duty. They don't have the authority. They're not representing anyone because they're not wearing a uniform that says security and they don't have a name tag with their license number on it. Those are requirements. Are we still black screen now? I wasn't playing anything. I was paused there, but let me see what the hell's going on here. Now I just shut it off and put it back on. Now, the next ones we're going to look at a little bit different. We don't have the video of the security. We have more of the story.
A thief or something, but I'm not that kind of person. I would never steal at Walmart.
According to the Saskatchewan Health Authority, last Friday, 36-year-old Trevor Dubois was in a patient room when Health Authority Protective Services officers were called after staff reported a safety concern involving Dubois. The SHA says a physical altercation occurred between the patient and officers, and the patient became unresponsive. Medical staff responded to provide care, however, he was pronounced deceased. The SHA is now conducting an investigation into the death of the patient. SHA says it takes the incident extremely seriously and is committed to accountability. The family of Trevor Dubois held a press conference this morning in Saskatoon regarding the incident. APTN's Rachel May will have more in your evening newscast.
All right, so this one is a situation where security got into a physical altercation with this guy at a hospital, and he died during that altercation. We're not talking like, oh, they hurt him and he died later on. We're talking like they were handling him and he died. There's an investigation going on. There's no proof of misconduct, right? They're investigating. We don't really know what happened. But one very important detail, and this here is from Grok giving us some more information. Okay. One very important detail down there. Later updates around January 26, 2026. noted that Dubois had previously filed a complaint. I can't read it all. With the First Nations Health Ombudsman regarding his health, his care, and related issues. So there was a complaint filed just a couple months before this happened. Not even, we're talking about oh wait, we don't see the date of his complaint. We just know that he made a complaint. I see it now. So we found out on January 26th that he had previously filed a complaint about his care and how they were treating him at that hospital. So once you have that kind of information, now you have to know that they were likely seeing this guy as a bad actor. This guy had caused problems for them. They had no patience left for him, and they were ready to go hands on faster. Something does come out here about a gun, but I have no idea what's about. So we'll be trying to get more information and see what kind of information is released once this investigation is completed.
His knee is broken.
So this one is the hotel situation that we showed on the last video, and we have some updates from it.
Or you pay or you go. There is no other option. Let's go, man. No need to make drama. No, I'm not. Look, we will. Get off the bed. Man. Look, now it's up to you. You will choose to check out. Okay, you will not. I will put you for 5 years. You were supposed to just listen to me. I mean, the medical was supposed to. I don't care about medical now. Or I will put you 5 years and don't rent, and you will never be here again. So now it's for you. Not your guys' problem. They were supposed to spend the facts already. They didn't. They didn't, and they took out time 11. And it's already 2. I know. So please, can you give me the deposit until you receive the paperwork? I can let you in the room. Otherwise, I will put you on don't rent, guys. I can't get him out of here without a wheelchair. Let's go. Not like I do my kid.
This part of the video had no audio, but we can see here that their bags have already been taken out of the room, and the guards are standing watch, forcing them to leave. Now we have updates to this situation, including the location of the hospital itself, which I believe to be very important.
All right, so we've got some updates from this one. We did feature it in another video. That one, I should tell us right here. It's in Winnipeg. Now, one detail that I missed is that this was a 16-year-old boy, and he was in the Winnipeg's Children's Hospital. But here's where things get iffy or sketchy. Okay, he's recovering in the Canad Inn's Destination Center, which is attached to the Health Sciences Center. This is the hotel that's attached to the hospital. It's the hotel that all of these organizations use. You know, it's not like these people picked that hotel. They were assigned that hotel because it's attached to the hospital. And one other thing that's made clear there is that they've already been there for a while, and that payment was handled. Now they needed an extension, and that payment expired at 11 a.m. that day. Now it's 2 p.m. So you're not talking a day or two later where they've waited for the payment to come in for them from the First Nations band and it hasn't yet. You're talking checkout was meant to be 3 hours ago. And you're already in here kicking these people out. This sparked a lot of outrage. People made a bunch of complaints. And I have another slide here. Where Canada's Inn, like I don't know if it's supposed to be Canada Inn or if they actually call it Canad Inns, reviewed the incident. They issued an apology, and they fired, they call it here as the main aggressor, but it's actually the manager, the guy who was in there saying, you give me $300 or I ban you for 5 years. He's been terminated. So we get into these situations where a lot of people were coming in the comments defending that guy, being like, oh, yeah, well, if it's my business and they didn't pay, I'll kick them out too. Well, it's not that guy's business. He's just an employee. And he made this extreme decision to kick out a 16-year-old son who just had knee surgery, a 16-year-old kid who just had knee surgery, because the band was a few hours late on payment. And the hotel chain did not agree with that. Not only does it look terribly bad for them, they got rid of him. So he's gone. He's no longer there. And then another issue that I see in here is they say Nicholas's pain worsened post-incident. His leg puffed up and was re-aggravated, leading to further hospital assessment while the family remained in Winnipeg. So basically, once he left that hotel room, his leg got worse and he had to go back into the hospital. Now, let's be clear. That could have nothing to do with being kicked out of the hotel room. That could have happened either way. He could have had to go back into the hospital either way. But it won't matter anymore because they forced him out of the hotel. He got worse and had to go back into the hospital. They're going to put that on the manager, on the hotel who forced him to leave. So you have to be very careful with these decisions that you make when you're affecting someone's life, all over money that isn't your own. It's like when we see these security guards beating someone because they're stealing a couple dollars worth of product from Dollarama, which is a massive corporation. These security guards are getting paid hourly, not nearly enough to be going hands-on with people. But it's like they take it personally. It's like they think that their paycheck, like their money is being taken from them, like they're going to deduct it from their paycheck, and they go hands-on. That's not what that job is meant to be, man. Just call it in. Call it. The police will investigate. If they think that this worthy of charges, they'll press charges. Either way, it's all insured, and Dollarama will not take a loss at the end of the day. So it's not worth going to those lengths. And it really does look now like it's systemic. Like Dollarama seems to be one of the worst places we found. And the guards all seem to have the same mentality. I have the right to do this. And someone needs to be giving them that mentality. It needs to be part of the training, part of their policies, their protocol. Dollarama is telling them, search all the bags. Well, you don't have the authority to be doing that. So you're better off calling the police or have your security guard prevent entry. Sorry, you can't come in with your bag. You'll have to leave your bag here at the lobby. Go do your shopping and take your bag on the way out. They can get away with those types of things, but they're not going to be able to get away with searching bags, especially when we see these situations where they're falsely accusing people. They're creating entire scenes. They're going hands-on with people that have not stolen. And once someone's confirmed to have stolen, they go well above into excessive force. Yeah, exactly, Randy. It's like companies will always react differently to a situation once it's made public. This one led to a mini protest. There were a bunch of people who went out in front of the hotel and protested. So that immediately put pressure on the corporation, and the corporation had to react. So they put out a statement saying, we're sorry, we don't agree with this, we fired the guy. If no one had recorded it and it hadn't been posted, hadn't gone public, and it didn't create outrage, they very well could have just left it be, and no one would have ever heard about it. All right, that was all of the videos we had for today. I'm going through some of the comments now. If anyone else had any other comments or questions, feel free to put them in here. Always film. Always film is right. I'm working on another video now from my area where someone in Wawa, which is about an hour and a half away here from here, but if you've seen some of our OPP videos, we're technically part of that Wawa detachment. We have this satellite detachment, so we have officers that work from Chapleau, but the staff sergeant is in Wawa. Kevin Fellinger is in Wawa. And this is a pretty extreme situation where this guy made a complaint about misconduct. It was investigated, And then, of course, because they investigated themselves, they found no wrongdoing. But there's a lot of allegations in there that make you say, what the F? And the main reason that this guy can't get his complaint through, the main reason this guy will never get justice for what happened to him is that he wasn't recording. None of it is on video. He doesn't have any of these interactions on video. He doesn't have the communications by email or recorded. So it's all his word versus theirs. And one thing we say often is once they put something on paper, once they put their lies down on paper in an official report, it's going to be accepted as fact everywhere. And that's what happened here. These guys lied in their reports. Buddy doesn't have video, doesn't have proof of the interactions. But I believe him. I know these officers. I know the region. I know what he's talking about. And I've seen them do this type of stuff before. But he wasn't recording. So they're going to get away with it. All right. That's it for today. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We had quite a bit in the chat. It was fun. We'll see you next time. And we're actually going to be making these clips here into a video. And we're going to include some of this commentary and breakdown that we put in there. Nico's interview with the father of the hockey team bus crash. Give me a second there. I'll see if I can go locate that. Is it on Political Orphans? Can't see the chat while I'm going. Oh, you can fill the comment sections I want. I'm going to share the screen right now. This one, my son's killer still hasn't been deported. Is that the one?
Meet EM Sense, a breakthrough in foot therapy that wraps around your foot and ankle like a therapeutic boot.
A legal picket line or a peaceful offense could be reclassified as hate-motivated offense. This carries a penalty of up to 10 years in prison.
Did they pass C9, or is this there's still more steps?
Bill C9 is not law yet. It will become law. I think it's going to be done by the end of next week, but it left committee. That means it's going back to the House of Commons, where they're going to have one time to read it, debate it, and then they're going to have to vote. There's no more extensions. That was that motion on paper notice that was put on last Friday. Not only does it prevent debate in committee, that it canceled everything.
Yeah, Jim's right.
Everybody had it to add.
The commercials are what allow the
all the
platform to
amendments
keep running.
yesterday.
Okay.
But
I
it
skip them as much as
also
I can, but the
fast-tracks
fact that they exist
the
does
debate
help.
in the House of Commons. So they're only going to have one question period.
One thing I've
to
noticed, though, if you pay
reread it,
attention to some of those
debate,
commercials,
and then vote
I like
on
to
it.
watch what comes on the
And
channel.
the Bloc Québécois made it very clear
A lot
that
of
as
them are
long
all
as the
right,
Liberals remove the
but boy,
good
do I
faith
ever hate seeing
portion of the criminal
propaganda.
code
Literally,
under
we have
Section
Ontario
319,
government and
they
Canadian
were
government
going to vote for
ads
it, and
running
they
which are just basically
Up to now,
repeating
they've done what they said
nonsense
they would do because it's out of
announcements that they
committee,
make. There's no
and the
value to
Bloc
the
Québécois
commercial.
voted
And we're
for
the
it.
ones paying for them.
So, yeah, we're in a we're definitely in
It's definitely gonna
a
pass.
situation. Oh yeah, that's just
I
a.
don't think any doubt on that.
Oh no. There's no doubt. That being said, they are removing the greater than disdained
This video is only
from the bill.
17
They're
minutes long.
removing the new definition of hate. As we've spoken about many times on the show, there's no direct definition of hate in the criminal code.
It might not have the interview, Prairie. I think these ones are all clips.
We are joined by the father of Jackson Joseph, a young man that was killed in the Humboldt Bronco bus crash in 2018, along with 15 other teammates and staff. Chris Joseph. He is here because he and his wife, Andrea, and 2 other children are tired of the lies and manipulation from mainstream media regarding the driver of the semi that killed his son and his teammates. Chris,
I'm guessing
first, thank you for your patience. I apologize that we're starting late. Thank you for being here. And I want to send my sympathies to you, to your family. And as a father, I cannot imagine what you've been through and what you're still going through right now. So thank you for being here.
We appreciate your
Thanks
time.
for having. Yeah, thank you for having me on, Rob and Nico. Yeah, I know you got you reached out to me after I posted my last. I did my last story, basically retaliating to the CBC and their narrative that they're painting, making Mr. Sadu into a simple man that made a horrible mistake and he lives with it every day. What I've gotten to know is the exact opposite, and I've actually had many conversations that are in the same room as him, like parole hearing, courtroom. Never actually spoken with him, but the person that I've seen has been a pretty self-centered, me first type of guy. And every time he's in the mail pleading for, or in the news pleading for his family to stay in Canada, it just re-traumatizes us, and it brings us back to April 6th, which is the worst day of my life. And it's tough because I don't want to put my family through this anymore. And I've gotten to the point where we've had enough and we're pushing back.
Hey boss, are we going to be paying off somebody's car loan or lease?
100%.
So you said a lot to find. I want to try to put a bit of context to this. Yeah. And so this all started because of a video that you released, an actual interview that was released about 36 minutes long. And that came, correct me if I'm wrong, but that came because of the new CBC video that was released 4 days ago, where I'm not going to name him. I don't name killers. I don't name shooters. I don't use the names of assholes. And I'm sorry to use those words, but I will not give him attention for his name. But the CBC released a video 4 days ago talking about him and how he was facing deportation. And in the video, the man in question said that he was haunted by the thought of being separated from his family. His wife went on to say that she can't imagine their lives without him, referring to the driver. How does that make you feel that CBC is making him all about him, making him sound like almost he's a victim?
Typical, like
and it's a tragedy that he is being deported. But this man spent 4 years in prison for blowing through a stop sign that killed your son amongst 15 other teenagers and staff and injured another 13. And somehow that fucking asshole is a victim because we want to deport him. What's going on here?
Thanks for that, Nico. I mean, that's going to lead right into why I did it. So CBC ran a piece, Karen Pauls, she ran a piece about Mr. Sadu and the sadness that he has to go through possibly being deported. And in that piece, he talked about when I run my fingers through my son's hair, it makes me sad that I might be gone or might have to leave. And I said, the last time I ran my fingers through my son's hair was in a morgue, and his body was cold and beat up because of him. And I will never get to run my fingers through my son's hair. And the audacity and the, you know, the balls that it takes for him to say something as ignorant as that, when number one, he can take his family with him. It's not, you know, he's been a selfish person to me, but if his wife and kids decide to stay and let him go, that's a pretty selfish move on her part as well. So the audacity of him to say something like that, I find disgusting. He's been pleading this, you know, woe is me case. Let me give you a little background. April 6th, when it happened, he gets into the collision. There's carnage, there's bodies everywhere. He somehow manages to climb out of his cab that was on its side. There's boys screaming everywhere. They're literally 10 feet from him. He gets out of the cab. He tells a bystander, I'm okay. I'm okay.
You're okay.
He
we don't give a fuck.
Did not help one person. He did not call 911. He did make one phone call to his boss in Calgary. That boss got in the car and went to Saskatoon area, or Tisdale, Nipawin area. And so he didn't do anything. And
yeah,
that
political
evening,
crimes are
when
the
he was
worst.
talking with the RCMP, he said the sun was in my
They
eyes.
look for much stiffer sentences.
The next day they did a
asking
reenactment.
questions.
The sun wasn't in his eyes. 5 p.m. in
showing
Saskatchewan in
their
that direction, the
dislike
sun
of
was
the
way up
government
in the
than they
sky.
do for actual crimes.
That sun in my eyes turned into, oh, the tarps were flapping. And I was distracted by the tarps. Well, I talked to the people at the peat moss factory that loaded the tarps. They said everything looked great. It was tarped as usual. And he claims he got out of his vehicle. Well, I've driven from the peat moss factory to the crash site, and the timestamp that he said he drove from here to there, he didn't have time to stop and look at his tarps. So really, it's all a bunch of lies. Now, he's extremely well coached, but the person that I've gotten to know and my wife's gotten to know has been looking out for number one since day one. He hasn't helped one person. He did make a connection with one of the families that forgave him. And he told that family that he was going to help change the trucking industry. He was going to really step up and do the right thing. He hasn't done one thing. Every single thing that he has done has been for himself. I'll give you a little more. When Judge Cardinal Inez in Melfort, Saskatchewan, sentenced him to 8 years, she said, you are to serve 8 years and you are to be deported. So he goes to prison. Canada Border Service Agency has to do a report. They said, when you finish your sentence, you are to be deported. He fought that, and he took it to federal court saying that the CBSA agents didn't do their job.
It's
he
hard
was
to cause
overruled.
disturbance with speech.
So now you've got the judge in Saskatchewan, the CBSA, and a federal court of appeals have all said you're to be deported. So then he goes to Immigration Refugee Board. It's a bit of a dot the I's and cross the T's, but he falls under the criteria permanent resident charged with a certain amount, and he is to be deported. So everybody says he's to be deported, and he keeps fighting it.
Yeah,
while
our government
he's
also does
fighting
stuff
it,
with
because he does have a pretty crafty lawyer,
sentences
while
so
he's
that
fighting it,
people just
he's making
below
babies.
that threshold of
So he
needing
should have
to
been
be
gone,
deported.
and I don't have a problem with him making babies, but he's making Canadian babies. He's not making Indian babies. So now he's using that as his leverage to say, I should stay in Canada. So the audacity of him to say, I'm going to be separated from my son It sickens me. I try not to swear, but it fucking sickens me.
Yeah,
Like,
you can do
I
it.
will never be
swear.
with my son. There are so many other families that will never be with their sons. And of course, we had Dana on our team. They'll never be with their daughter. Like, it's disgusting. It just epitomizes who he cares about. He cares about himself.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a chance to ask questions, but I got
you
a
go
lot
ahead.
more.
Yeah.
Like
no,
I told you, Chris,
this is
before
about
you go,
you.
Rob, like I
This is
told you,
about you.
Chris,
Okay.
there's no timestamp here. If it goes for an hour and a
Okay.
half from here, I personally, I have no problems with that. I
Yeah.
know you've been screwed by mainstream media in the past. I told you that I will give you green light to talk about
You can let it
whatever
out.
you want in the
Thanks.
way that you want. And if it
Okay.
takes more time, it will just take more time. This is not a problem whatsoever. So, Rob, I know you had something to ask Chris, so go ahead.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah. First of all, just again, really appreciate your time here. I can't imagine how difficult it is to speak about, and perhaps, hopefully, it may be cathartic. But Nico and I are both fathers of young men. My son is just turned 17, so he'd be right about the same age as most of the young men and young women on that bus. And I don't, to be honest, I don't know how you can do it, but I have nothing but the utmost respect that you're able to even speak about this. My question is, so he was sentenced, this guy was sentenced to 8 years and he got out in 4. Were you and any of the families involved in that decision? Were you able to go and speak at his parole hearing? And overall, how do you feel you've been treated as the families by the government, by the police?
Okay, so we have good questions. So he got 8 years. So I'll go back it up a little bit. The maximum sentence at the time was 14 years for dangerous driving causing death. Now, it has since changed. The Humboldt Broncos have changed it. The maximum sentence for dangerous driving causing death is now life, 25 years. But at the time, it was 14 years. Our Crown prosecutor went and asked for 10. And we told him in the meeting room, why'd you ask for 10? And he broke down in front of us and he said, because I didn't think I could get 14. And I said, well, we freaking wanted 14. So Judge Cardinal Inez gave 8, which at the time was the largest ever, but we wanted 14. Back it up even more. There's a narrative out there that says that he saved us the grief of a trial by pleading guilty. So by pleading guilty, there's no trial.
Are you
There's
kidding
no
me?
questions. It's just how long are you going away for? So at the time, maybe we thought it was a good idea. I don't know. We're all grieving. We just lost our children. But now that I look back on it, a trial would have opened up a whole can of worms. Like, it would have questions that would have, and it would have been ugly. But I'll tell you what,
trials are not pretty, but it's how you get
anyways.
the information out.
So it would open up a whole can of worms. He would have had to ask questions or answer questions. We would have gotten a chance to ask different levels. His boss, the driving instructor. Like, we could have gone to the, immigration department. We could have gone big, and he squashed all that. So for them to say that he saved us, he didn't. He saved himself. He pled and he saved himself. And it was another example, like, we wanted all that to come out. So in the 4 days in the sentencing, our first 4 days, I told you how April 6th, 2018 was the worst day of my life. The worst day of my life after that was the next 4 at the sentencing. There was 4 days of victim impact statements. 4 days, just loaded. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., victim impact, victim impact, victim impact. My family alone had about 5, right? Because it's me, grandma, my daughter, and you're just bawling your eyes out for 4 straight days. On the 3rd day, we're in Melfort, Saskatchewan. I go and look in the mirror and I'm like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Like, I aged 10 years in 3 days. And so that was the second worst time of my life. So then we go through the whole sentencing, and it's ugly. And at the end of it, Judge Cardinal's going to sentence him. They ask him if he would like to get up and apologize. So he had his back to us the whole time. He's sitting in the front row. He stands up, he turns sideways, halfway. He puts his eyes down. and he gives us about a 30-second murmur of what seemed to be an apology. And that was it. That's all we've ever heard from him. So then you asked Nico, if we felt supported. So then we go in, and now we've got a parole hearing. In the parole hearing, he's getting close to his
For sure,
parole.
Jim. It would have traumatized like everyone
They
around
grill him. They ask him tough
that
questions.
team or that school.
I'm not lying when I say
the
he said,
kids
I don't
themselves
know, or I don't recall, over 100 times. Like everything. Like he's so coached.
No,
So everything was, I don't know. So then the
We had a
three-panel
teacher
parole
pass
board,
away.
I'm sitting there
Not
watching. I'm
long
like,
ago,
they're giving
the
it to
gym
him.
teacher
They're not
there
going
was
to
in
give
one
him
of our
parole.
videos.
Like they're being hard
they
because they
offered
were like,
counseling,
Mr. Sadhu, we
trauma
don't like your
counseling
answers.
to
You're
all
not
of the
being
students.
truthful with us. And at the end of it, I'm like, okay, I'm optimistic. I'm like, they're not going to give him parole. And they're like, but we are going to give you parole. We have no choice.
Unbelievable.
I'm like, what? You have no choice? So that was one letdown there. I really thought the parole board was going to, go to bat for us. So now, we get these victim offender updates. So whenever Mr. Sadhu, say, goes on vacation, we get notified. So I know if he's leaving
How the fuck's he going on
area
vacation?
of Calgary. And so most of the time I'm like, yeah, whatever, he's going on vacation. He's having a good time, living his best life, making babies. So one time that we get a notification that he's going to be in the Banff Canmore area in Alberta, right? And I'm like, I go, we're going to be there same time. Like we've already booked it. We have a place there. And I said, we're going to be there. So
why would he ever go back?
Yeah. So we go, we call victim services and we're like, we're going to be there same time as Mr. Sadhu. Can you please tell him to not show up? And they're like, well, can you just avoid him? And I've said, what? Like, how am I supposed to do that? And they're like, well, where are you going to be, Mr. Joseph? And I go, what do you mean, where am I going to be? Where's he going to be? And they're like, well, we can't tell you that. And I'm like, so you want me to avoid him when I'm on my vacation because he's going to be on his vacation? It was just, and so the support that we got, it wasn't there either. It's almost like everybody in the government agencies, their hands are tied. And, I think they want to help us, but they can't, or they don't. I don't know what it is, but he has more rights than we do, it feels like.
Disgusting.
So I just want to, this is a conversation that we somewhat had in private because you and I had a conversation a couple of days ago. So because you wanted to see the type of person that I was, if I would do you justice, basically, or would I be just like mainstream media and try to fuck you, basically?
They did not.
And I'm happy that you decided to come on here, but I'm going to ask you a hard question, man to man here. So let me reiterate what you said, and then I'll ask you a straight up question. Decide to answer it or not, that's on you. But so there was no trial. The man only spent 4 years in prison. He was released in 2022. Mainstream media is still making him to be a victim because he's going to be deported, and God forbid that he has children and a wife here. His lawyer, Michael Green, has put in a request for an application for permanent residency under humanitarian and compassionate ground.
Yeah.
What do you think this man deserves? If it was up to you, as a man that lost his son, again, choose to answer the question. I can tell you what he deserves. He deserves his head. He deserves his head to be decapitated from his shoulder. I told you this in private, and I will repeat it here. But what do you think, as a man?
He definitely deserves
what do you think that man deserves?
I think he deserves to be gone. That's what I think he deserves. Now, have I had dark days when I thought worse? Absolutely. Not going to lie to you. I've gone, in my mind, I've gone all Jason Bourne on him and hunted him down and done all that kind of stuff. I obviously came to realize that that's not me. But he deserves to be gone, and he should have been gone. And I'll tell you another thing about this humanitarian ground. So I'm sure you guys know, but just for your audience, that's typically for people that are maybe fleeing a war-torn country and it's not safe to go back.
That's right.
Or it's for people who maybe have a bounty on their head if they do go back, right? It's not for people that don't want to go back. Like
criminals.
The narrative that we're being cruel when he has the choice to go back to India, where yeah, he might not have the big house or the big car, but there's a billion people living there. He's going to be just fine, you know. And he says his son has lung issues. There's people there with lung issues. He's going to be fine. He can take his family.
They're all
another one
sob
better.
stories. There's no reason he can't go back.
I think if he's here in Canada, he's followed everywhere he goes. The media is on him, and then it re-traumatizes us. If he goes back to India, he's anonymous. He can do what he wants to do. He can live his life.
Would even know who he is.
And the selfishness that he has portrayed, that he wants to stay here, I find disgusting. So I think it'd be better for him.
I just want to say, as easy as it is for me to say I'd decapitate his head, I can't imagine what I would do. I just cannot. As a Christian, I know I'm not supposed to be thinking those thoughts. But as you said, you have dark days. Yeah. But it just pisses me off. I was listening to the interview and I couldn't finish it. That 3.5-minute video, I had to stop it because I could not listen to that guy speak. I could not listen to Michael Green, his lawyer, defending a man that has killed 16 people and injured another 13. So as much as I say that I'd like to decapitate him, I don't know if I could kill somebody in cold blood. I don't think I could. I don't think I have the heart.
That's right.
Self-defense is a different story, right?
Totally.
But the thing that pisses me off is that I have no pity for him. I don't give a fuck that you're uncomfortable back in your country. I don't care. I really, really don't care. You killed 16 people. The way that you feel is the last of my concerns. And I don't understand why here in Canada, we care about this man's feelings. We care about this man as a whole after what he's done. That guy's lucky that one of the parents did not find him somewhere, because those stories has happened many times in the past. So he's still alive. He should be counting his blessings.
And that's why I think he's better to just leave. But I think this just shows the level of selfishness that I've been complaining about, that the narrative is incorrect, that he's this simple man that made a horrible mistake and he lives with grief every day. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he gives a shit. I don't think he lives with grief every day. I think there's days when he's like, God damn it, why didn't I just hit an F-150 with a couple kids? You know, like, why did I have to hit Canada's hockey team? Like,
make it about him.
I think he thinks, like, why didn't I just kill a couple of kids? And I didn't know this was going to blow up like that. You know, like, all I've seen out of this guy is selfishness. All I've seen out of him is avoiding. And I haven't seen the narrative that CBC and mainstream media talk about. I haven't seen it at all. I haven't seen him do one thing for any other person than himself.
If you're carrying an extra 45 pounds, on Monday, March 16th, we start the military chair Tai Chi program for beginners.
Chris, I this is such a difficult topic for everyone. You know, when you came on the show, I was like, wow, that guy looks really familiar. And then when you had talked about your video, running your hands through your son's hair, I'd seen that just on social media the other day. I was like, that's where, and I teared up at it, you know, because I think it was a really human moment. And I think when we talk about this, you can get bogged down in the details, you know, the horrific details, the numbers. And I think it is important to also humanize the conversation and get it back to where it's meant to be. I was wondering if you would be able to tell us a little bit about Jackson. You know, so we as the audience, I feel like it might, if you're able to. I love it. It won't be a dry eye in this room, but I think it will allow us. I'm already there. It'll allow us to know.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite subject, and I do this because I love my family. The other day, before I talk about Jackson, the other day, I'm fighting that. I'm going up and down. I'm like, this weekend, I'm crying, I'm screaming, I'm a roller coaster. Just yesterday, I'm driving home from the hockey rink, and I said we got a group chat with my daughter and my wife and my son, and my daughter said something to me about, you know, like, I saw the interview, good job. And I said, I'm really sorry that I have to drag you guys through this. I go, I don't want this for you. This is traumatizing all the time. And as soon as I said, I'm really sorry I dragged you through this, I got a bloop, bloop. Like I got 2 text messages from my wife and my daughter at the same time. It's like instant, saying how proud they were of me. And I said, that's why I'm doing this. This is the whole reason I'm doing it. You know, like I'm doing this so that nobody has to feel this. So let me tell you about Jackson. I mean, he's just a regular kid. He wasn't special. He was special to me. He was a regular kid that loved hockey, loved his family. He was the middle boy. He was the glue between his older sister and his younger brother. He was a goofball. He tried to get out of trouble by making us laugh. It worked all the time. He had recently just told the first girl ever that he loved her. You know, like we look at the other boys now, they're getting married, they're having kids, and I'm so happy for them. I think it's wonderful. But we look at what could have been. You know, like my wife and I want grandchildren, and we want a big family. And, you know, like it's just that. It's those little things. Like he was a regular boy, a hockey boy, no different than you guys, no different than me. He loved his family. He was having a great time. He kept telling me how special that team was. And I got tons of hockey background too. And I remember him saying to me when he goes to Humboldt, he goes, Dad, this is a pretty cool team. I've never had a team like this before. I go, everybody gets along. It's great. And I go, Jax, that's awesome. I go, enjoy it. It doesn't happen very often. Like to have a team that's super cohesive, it doesn't happen very often. You know, you get different characters but when you have it, it's special. And he really loved those boys. And, you know, the survivors, they're all pretty tight. They stay together. They've been through hell, but they're great kids. And some of them are still calling me. And so was Jackson special? Yeah, he was special to me, but he was a regular kid. He's just like every other Canadian kid. He just wanted to play hockey, fall in love, probably have a family, and, you know, learn some lessons. Who knew what he was planning on playing hockey the following year for a University of Ontario Institute of Technology. He had some people come watch him, but he just loved being around his boys, loved being around his family. He was a big old goofball, and we loved him. He was awesome.
Sounds like a great kid. Thanks for that, Chris.
You know what, Chris? I want to apologize to you for the way I've been speaking, because this shit makes me angry. This whole thing makes me angry. I spent a few hours looking at videos and just thinking about this before the show. It just makes me angry. I'm angry for you, and I apologize. I hope that
no, it's okay.
It's not being a nuisance to you. It's just, man, I just can't imagine. I'm a newly father. My son's 8 months old, and I can't imagine. Like, I just can't.
It
I
changes
really
your
cannot
world,
imagine.
Man. It changes your world.
He's everything to me, man. That smile that he gives me every time he sees me is worth everything. It's worth absolutely everything. So I'm angry for you. I'm really angry for you, and I apologize if I said something that was
no, you didn't.
I don't know, disrespectful.
You're fighting with me, and you're helping me in my fight, and I respect it and I appreciate it. And you know, like you guys know as dads, like it does change your world, and you're a different person the minute you have a baby. You know, you immediately realize you're not number one, and it's awesome, and you love it, and you would die for those children. And you know, like people say time heals wounds. It doesn't heal shit. You know, like it's always there. You just learn how to live with it. And so, do we smile and do we laugh? Yeah, we do. My daughter got married a few years ago, and you know, like we have to celebrate her because it's a momentous occasion. It's awesome. But there's a tinge of bitterness to everything. Like Jackson should be here. There's always Jackson should be here. And you go to any wedding, somebody should be there, right? There's always grandma, grandpa, mom, dad. Somebody should always be there. And those are the things that are really important in hockey. And, you know, if anything good's come of it, like the hockey world, really, because I'm in the hockey world too. The hockey world rallied around us. They were absolute rock stars for all of us, like from the NHL all the way down. We just had the greatest people, and it really made me appreciate the community. But the hockey world.
2 seconds here. So Perry just said that Chris is in the NHL too. Looks like that's him, right, Perry? So that is the father who's doing the interview now. He's a former NHL Oilers player.
In general is tight knit, and they've been very good to us. But yeah, I know, Nico, like, I appreciate you guys even giving me the platform to talk about Jackson. It's funny, Rob. People say, I'm going to get angry. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that. And then people say, tell me about Jackson. And I'm like, oh God. Like it happens every time.
I knew it would be hard, but I had a feeling.
Because all I got to do is, and he is my favorite subject. Like Andrea, Jackson, Taylor, and Brett, those are my family. That's my favorite subject, right? But it's funny, like, and sometimes I'll be good, like, oh, tell me about Jackson. Oh, I got Jackson, and then I'll just bam, it just hits you like a ton of bricks. And so everything I do, I do it for my family, and it's just, I don't like that I have to get re-traumatized every time this selfish bastard tries to make it about him. And it bothers me. And I've had enough. I made an hockey analogy the other day to somebody. I said, okay, so when you're playing hockey, you got to take a punch in the face and hope the referees take care of the game. You got to do what's right for the team. You got to take a punch in the face. And then after a while, you realize, well, the referees aren't calling anything. So I'm dropping the gloves. And I think that's the point I'm at. Like, I'm dropping the gloves and I'm like, you know what? I'm fighting.
Someone's got to be the goon.
Because the referees aren't doing anything for me now. Yeah. So you got to take it in your own hands.
Absolutely correct. How is your family doing overall, Chris? Like, obviously it's changed you guys completely, but
we're good. I mean, we're getting on with life, obviously. Like I said, my daughter's married. She's living in Vancouver. She's married to a wonderful boy. My youngest son, Brett, is 23. He's learning to be a helicopter pilot. Wife and I are working. Like, we're doing good. But sure, it would be a lot better if we had a third kid.
You always feel it. Yeah.
There's little things like, for the first couple of years, people, how when you meet new people, they're like, oh, how many kids you got? And I'd say 3.
3?
I always say 3.
Yeah.
And then, but now, in the last couple of years, sometimes you don't really know the person all that well. And they say, how many kids you got? And because you don't want to say 3, because what if they said, well, what are they all doing? So sometimes we're just like, oh, we don't want to talk about it. We got 2. We don't even say we got 2. We never say 2. But we'll be like, oh, we got an older daughter. She's doing this. And then we got a younger boy. He's doing this. And we kind of just leave it at that, which is terrible, right? Now, we've been through counseling.
That you even have to think of that.
Yeah, we've done it all. I even did this thing. What was it called? EMDR, where you follow this blue light, and I'm trying to desensitize your trauma. And like, it's just, I don't know if any of it works, but you're always just trying to find some peace. But it's just hard. That hole is there forever. You see it even with 80-year-olds that lose their 60-year-old child. They're devastated. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old they are. Newborns, stillbirths. You see parents like that. It doesn't matter. They're devastated forever. So I think it's just an unnatural progression, and I think it's for a lot of people.
You're not
it's
meant
just
to bury
brutal.
your kids.
No.
Yeah.
Have you, hearing you speak, there's 2 things I want to ask. And the last one, I don't remember if you and I spoke about this on the phone. I don't remember if that was a no-go. And I apologize if it is. It's just, I have to ask you. But have you ever seen the movie Wind River? I'm a big movie buff. I absolutely love movies. I love the stories behind it. It's a movie with, what's his name? Jeremy Renner. But in the movie,
I haven't seen it. No.
I would it's one of my favorite movies. It is a hard movie to watch, but it is about two men that loses their kids, but it's because he says something at the end. I don't want to ruin it for you, but
I'll watch
the
it.
two men that lost their child, they have an honest sentiment. It's gonna make me cry. That movie makes me cry. I can't even imagine, but they're just having a conversation about what it means to lose a child, and some of the stuff that you said, he actually says it, but then he adds something to it that just breaks me. I've seen this movie 10 times. It just breaks me every
I'll
single
watch
time.
I'll watch it, but it'll be
It's
hard.
it's a great movie, especially the end. It's violent. Like Jeremy Renner, you know who that guy is, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I've seen the movie. I haven't seen the movie, but I know of the movie.
It's his best
He's
role.
and he's in Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's the guy. But it's his best role because he's a man in that movie. He's a man that takes care of business, is what he is in that movie. But it is a very masculine movie where men are talking about shit you're not supposed to ever go through. It's just very touching as a masculine man to hear those guys talk about it, even though it's a movie. But the question I have for you, and that's the last one I'll ask you for now, can you ever find a way to forgive this man? Is that something that
I was actually
you can imagine?
That's a great question.
Because I've heard of people being able to do it. I've heard of people in that accident. There was a mother that forgave him, but
there's been some Broncos that have forgiven him. And to me, forgiveness is a journey for yourself. It's not for anybody else. I don't have that right now. And to say never, I don't know. The reason I don't have it right now is probably because I've seen too much selfishness out of him, and I don't like him, and I don't like what he's been standing for. Had he gone the other way and just voluntarily left the country or something like that, then I don't know, things would be different maybe. But right now at this point, I don't have any of it. I don't know why. I want it. Like I really do. I want to get to that place where people are like, oh, you can forgive, but I don't have it just because I'm still mad at him. The person that I've seen is just selfish, and that's all I can say. I don't have it right now.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to that, I certainly never suffered any kind of loss near what you have. But you know, I've been in similar situations where you almost, it becomes a burden. But you know, if and when you ever decide to forgive this person, the only reason you would do that is because you feel like it would help you and your family. I don't think this guy is owed anything. Yeah.
It's just for me.
If you feel like it might lighten your burden, your load. But you know, that
I'll tell you what would lighten my burden right now would be him gone.
Yeah.
That would lighten my burden. And then I've told people that maybe that would be the beginning of me even considering it. But as long as he's fighting for himself, I cannot.
I think I'd be right there with you.
This $10 pen fixed what $1,000 worth of creams couldn't, because this yellow crust is...
Chris,
heavy talk.
I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just laughing because I never shut the hell up, and I'm at loss for words right now. So this is not something that happens very often.
Well, I do want to thank both of you guys. It's tough. I mean, like, I've done this a lot, and it's hard, and you can see my emotion today. It's still not easy. It's never easy for me, but generally in life, you learn that the things that are tough are generally worth it, and you don't ever want to take the easy road in life, and this is hard, but I feel it's something I have to do for my family, and I do truly believe that Jackson would want me to kick in some doors and you know, piss people off, and I really do believe it. But you know, so you do the best you can. That's the only reason I'm here, is for my family.
I'm sure they can see that, and I'm sure, you know, you're again. I can't imagine how hard this is for you to talk about. We both really appreciate you coming on. I have no doubts that your family sees exactly that you're fighting for them, and you know, that's all a man can do, right? That's all we can do, is fight for our family.
Yeah.
Chris, hopefully you can stick around for a couple minutes. I'll just put you in the back
Sure.
room again. I just want to be able to talk to you afterwards, like not on air. If you don't mind waiting for a few minutes, we'll finish the show here either way. But I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for getting back
Thank
to
you,
me,
sir.
and thank you for just being here talking about this today.
Yeah, no, my pleasure, guys. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to spread the word.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, sir.
Okay, thanks.
It's a pretty crazy situation. I mean, it's unbelievable. The guy only got 4 years probation and no deportation. But we've been seeing that a lot lately, where they reduce the sentences so that someone doesn't qualify for deportation. They see deportation as being worse than going to prison. But then on the flip side of things, when Canadian borns are being, I don't know, charged with anything, literally it'll be anything, it'll be non-violent victimless crime, and they'll be seeking the maximum penalty possible. So it does seem like a two-tier system. All right, that'll be it for today. Thanks for joining us, guys. What, I'll have to look into that, CBC. I've not heard of that. All right, now I gotta figure out how to shut this stream off.